Hello and welcome to Poetry in Style. So today we are going to talk about a very famous poet, Charles Bukowski. There is a certain fascination about this poet in our society. A lot of people will refer him in videos on YouTube. They will talk about how you can follow his life in order to improve yours. Or they will make documentaries, or you can walk and you find a Bukowski cafe, Bukowski barber, everywhere in the world. So I found that very interesting, and I wanted to analyze why and to understand why are people so interested in the character and the life and the work of Charles Bukowski. So today we're going to start with a poem that really shows his life and his mentality, in my opinion. It's called Bluebird. Bluebird. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay in there. I'm not going to let anybody see you. There is a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I pour whiskey on him and inhale cigarette smoke. And the holes and the bartenders and the grocery clerks never know that he is in there. There is a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay down. Do you want to mess me up? You want to screw up the works? You want to blow my book sales in Europe? There is a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too clever. I only let him out at night sometimes, when everybody is asleep. I say, I know that you're in there, so don't be sad. Then I put him back, but he's singing a little in there. I haven't quite let him die. And we sleep together like that, with our secret pact, and it's nice enough to make a man weep, but I don't weep. Do you? So this was the poem Bluebird by Charles Bukowski. What did you think about it? The reason why I chose that poem is because, in my opinion, it really represents the life of Charles Bukowski. The bluebird represents this weakness, this deep sadness that he had within him, that he didn't want to let it out. He wanted to be strong. So in order to be strong, he went to see prostitutes, he was an alcoholic, he talks about whiskey, and he was smoking a lot. He was living a weird life in order to not let that bluebird go out. And I found that interesting. So the reason why I wanted to make a video about Charles Bukowski today is because I notice in our society, you can just go on YouTube and you check Charles Bukowski, you're gonna see so many videos, and some people are gonna tell you, how can you follow the advice of Charles Bukowski to improve your life? And I find that really interesting when you actually just take a small moment to look at the life of Charles Bukowski. This man was an alcoholic. He was going from hole to holes. He could not keep a job. He could not keep a woman. He was smoking a lot. He had the definition of a very unhealthy lifestyle. But people still are fascinated by him. Well, I find that really interesting that this is the example that people follow. I think it says a lot about the society. It says a lot that a lot of people feel that they suffocate in our society. And here is my viewpoint, because as I say, you can see a lot of videos on Bukowski to tell you what you can learn from him, or what was so fascinating about his work, and I'm going to give you a few links. But my viewpoint here is that you can get inspired by Charles Bukowski, but the way he was unapologetic, the way he was living his life, without going in the path of self-destruction. Because Bukowski was the best example of self-destruction you can find. You know, alcohol, holes, smoking, and his attitude in general. You can go against the current of society without going into that path, you know. There are different ways to be a rebel. There are different ways to be marginal. You know, you don't have to follow society, but you don't have to go to that extreme either. Anyway, so that was my video on Charles Bukowski. I just wanted to make this quick video because in my journey of learning about poetry, I started reading a lot of different poets. And one of them was obviously Charles Bukowski. Do I like his poems? Some of them. I learned a lot about his style because it's very raw, it's very direct, and sometimes it can be very nice to write poems in that way. But at the same time, I wanted to learn something different and give you that different perspective. So have a good day.